I'm not forcing the brand anywhere. I didn't push it into 75 countries. 75 countries contacted us wanting the brand. That to me is the power of a brand. When someone's looking for it, they want it, they're ready for it.
Transitioning into still talking about direct to consumer, another amazing brand that does this very well is Luc Belaire, right? And in particular, Brett Berish, right? Who you may see is like this little small dude with gray hair. You may have seen him with Rick Ross because, you know, Belaire and Rick Ross is just what we've covered here. But Brett has done Ace of Spades, which we've talked about, which is Jay-Z's line. And he's done Bumbu, and he's done a whole bunch of other things that I didn't even know about. He done D'Ussé, and for all my people who drink, we don't. But I am aware of these products, right? For those people who drink, understanding the importance of a D'Ussé and an Ace of Spades and a Belaire and a Bumbu, and he is behind all of them. And to get pieces of how this has worked from the demand that it had because of certain movements and him saying no to certain things is very interesting. And so we got a clip. We got two clips about this. But the first one is respecting your brand.
It's a phenomenal brand that is in 75 plus countries. And what's great about that is everything I do is based on, I'm not forcing the brand anywhere. I didn't push it into 75 countries. 75 countries contacted us wanting the brand. That to me is the power of a brand. When someone's looking for it, they want it, they're ready for it. This brand, when I introduced it to our distributors in my industry, said, this will never work, Brett. It'll never work. You put it in a black bottle, you can't do that. You can't see the liquid. You're launching rosé first. You can't do that. You got to launch a brut, which is the traditional champagne. Work at that price point. 10 years earlier, I would have changed everything. No, I'm not changing anything. I got to trust my instincts and trust my gut. All my brands, whether it was Ace of Spades, whether it was D'Ussé, whether it's these brands, no one thought they'd work. Certain things like back then, such as trusting your instincts or listening to your gut or saying no, back then I just give it away. And once I started, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that anymore. You got to respect the brand and respect what you're getting. And
That's dope. That's dope. I like that line of respect the brand. You know, it's like that's big. It's like if I just cater into the basics or what is expected in a particular industry, then there's nothing that makes me any different than what you expect to get. All right. So it's like that idea of respect the brand. I like that mentality. And there's a part of it, I think, for every creator where when you're first getting started, me personally, I'm learning more to respect and actually surround yourself with startup entrepreneurs. Because here's the difference. Those guys and gals, they don't have the level of success that gives them the confidence and arrogance to say, oh, I know I'm a winner, I already won. When you're just starting from scratch, there's a level of faith, there's a level of creativity, there's like a rawness that comes with that because you got to be a little bit more scrappy to get to the top or to fight your way through, right? So I love that, okay, let me not buy into what's expected in a particular industry or a code because while I want to follow what people are suggesting, I don't want to lose my edge. I don't want to lose my creativity. So I like that. Respect the brand. That's a good bar.
Yeah, and there's a few things that I got out of this one. It was the power of no. That's where the respect the brand is. Like when you have a new idea or when you are establishing a brand, like, and you're seeking, some people seek for approval, right? Like, and of course, if you're going into an already established industry, there are going to be people that are going to say, nope, this is not going to work. This is not going to work. This is not going to work. Right. And you have to, and he said it, he was like, if this was a few years ago, absolutely, I would have changed everything. Right. He had a brand before, I think it was called like Number 3. Right. He had a different liquor. And so many people told him to change it, and he didn't respect his idea and his gut, that he changed a lot of things. But he was like, look, in the process, I learned how to distribute to the US. I learned the importance of how the bottle looks and the importance of influencers and things like that. Like, he was speaking about the lessons that he learned and that he put towards like the brands that he has now. And we're going to get a lot of no's, and the no's is what crafts our brand, is what makes it stronger, to where when you say, and I forgot who he was talking about, but there was no, he didn't mention it. He was saying there was this actor that wanted Ace of Spades. When he had Ace of Spades, it was like, hey, pass me a few bottles of Ace of Spades. They're like, the way production is right now, it's limited. I hear you. It was a very powerful actor. I hear you, but give me some of the bottles. And he said no. And a few months later, the man started spending over like $500,000 on Ace of Spades.
Wow.
Right? And when you follow your gut and you just say no, and that's just like, that's an example of saying no. But when you have your brand and you're hearing all these different feedback and you are just sticking to your gut, it actually builds respect for the brand. It actually is like, let me see if this is going to work. There's been, I think about it like boxing. There's some fighters I don't care for, right? Because of how they go. I'm like, yo, for example, Logan Paul, the Paul brothers, right? You almost watch them to see if it's going to fail. But as they continue to win, you almost gain respect with like, yo, okay, I gotta respect how you do things. Right.
Yeah.
So the more you hear how you should change things and how you're supposed to do things, and you don't listen to them, people are still going to watch you and actually gain respect for creating your own lane. And hence why his brand has gotten to so many different countries and has become one of the top selling of their kind. So it's like we worry too much about disappointing other people, or we worry about the feedback and should I change it and should I not? But we're creating something based off how our gut is and how we should move about it. We're creating a whole different lane that people are going to watch, regardless if they want to or not, and are going to respect it down the line. I love Floyd Mayweather for that same situation. So many people watched him to see if he was going to fail because he wasn't a typical boxer. He didn't follow the typical storyline. And so when we look at this, it goes more than just products. It goes towards branding. It goes towards business. It goes towards a lot of things because you're going to hear feedback from a lot of things. Yeah. And we are influenced by the industry that we're in, hence why we're in the industry. And so we sometimes give too much credit to them to where they actually mold us to being just like them. When we are not them, we're something else. We're our own unique story.
I like that. That's real. Yeah, you watched them so much that although you kind of like disliked them at first, you start to become a fan after a while. It's like, oh man, Floyd is kind of nice. You know what? I'm low key a Floyd fan now. It's true.
Right.
It's true.
Because if you think about it with his company, it's like, no, you were not supposed to put it in a black bottle. No, you're supposed to come out with this liquor first and not necessarily that one. No, you're supposed to. And so you look, these people are probably looking like, see, it's going to fail. It's going to fail. And since it didn't, they're like, oh, okay, we got to, your numbers say, and this is where it stops being from opinions and it goes from facts. Because now numbers equal up the success. And stats equal up what's really, how it's really supposed to be, besides what your opinion is.
Yeah.
The same.
Big facts.